Hi there and welcome into my channel. I said that I would come back and do a process video on these new stamps that I got, so I'm just going to get right into it and hopefully I'll have enough time to do it all. This is a stamp I'm going to use today, and as you can see it's that's crafty, and it's called the Floral Skull stamp set. Okay, right, it comes in the package with the carrier sheet on the back. I just take the carrier sheet off. Now, I have this stamping pad. It's a Stamp Perfect. I don't even remember where I got it. I've had it for ages. Oh, it's a Hero Arts one. I can see the H on it. But it's no big enough for these stamps because they're huge. So, I've been stamping for years, but I'll probably get this wrong because I'm on camera. This is the way I do it if I've got a stamp that's too big. Okay, and I have to say, touch hairy wood, it doesn't usually go wrong. Right, the ink that I'm using for this is the VersaFine Onyx Black. I've always had the big stamp pads. I always use the big stamp pads, but for some reason it's only small ones of these VersaFine ones that I've bought, because I never really used them. But I'm just starting to get into use these. I've always used my Memento and Stays On, but I'm getting into these Versa ones, so I'll probably buy the bigger pads because it saves all this. Pat. Anyway, make sure your ink, your stamp has a really good covering of ink. Okay. Now I have to say the VersaFine do have a good open time for their inks, so there's no mad rush. Right, if you're not confident in doing it this way, don't do it this way, right? But I just put it straight down and put a hand on top of it. And then I'll give it a good rub. Always keep one hand on it. And I'm just rubbing round about, and I'll put one hand in and then I'll use this hand to rub this off. And I'm not overly pressing, I'm just putting a bit of weight on it. Okay. Right, we'll see how we go with that. And it's not bad. I've missed this bit at the top here, but I'm not caring because this is only a demonstration one, and I'm going to show you my next step. Oh, I've got a blue bottle or something. My next step, which is painting them or colouring them, whatever way you want to do it. I've used several different ways. This one I'm going to use my distress inks here, and I'll show you how I've done it. Now brushes, I've got hundreds of brushes, literally hundreds of them, but I do prefer these. And it's just Crafter's Choice. I'm sure they were Crafter's Companion, I think it was, that was selling them, but I bought these in the range. You can get them in the range and you get a set of maybe about 12 for £10 or less. I'm not sure. Look at the ink oil in my hands because I've been doing it. Right, seeing as that bit up there's rubbish, I'm going to come down here and I'll do this bit here. Okay, and all I do is I put a bit of ink out of the colours that I'm going to use. Well, I'm going to use green for the leaves, and I'm going to use some yellow. Don't go mad. You see these demonstrators on the TV and they give it, oh, I'll have a wee bit of ink. Right, you don't need to do that. That's just crazy. We'll have a wee bit of orange. And we'll have a bit of pink for a flower, for a rose, okay? And I guarantee you that's way more than enough than you'll ever need for this. Because I done that and I had plenty to do my full stamp, as you'll see. Right there, take it out a wee bit of water. And I don't use a lot of water. That's a lot more than I normally would. So, some of that away. Right, I'll go for this is a kind of medium number. It's a number 6. And I like them because they stay pointy. And I'm going to use it for here. You don't need to heat set it, right? And I'm only using a wee dip. Can you see my water there? I'll move it in a wee spot. I only just used a wee dip, and then I'll actually kind of squeeze it in my fingers and get the most of it off. And I just want to damp some of the ink, okay? And we're in shot here, so I'm going to colour these leaves. Now, you're just trying not to go outside the leaf, okay? You don't need to be perfect and you don't need to get every bit of the leaf, and I'm going to show you why in a wee second. Okay. Right, and then I've got a weird brush, and I'll just go in with a wee fine brush, which is a number 1, and that's just for the wee fine line, the stem, right down the middle. Okay, I'll put a wee tiny spot of water on, and I'll give it a wee rub, and you can use it to make the bottom of your leaves look darker. You see that? It's shading the leaves. Okay, right, and then I'm going to use a wee bit of this masses of yellow. Hundreds of it. And you just want to go in round your edges a wee bit. You don't need to do every bit of leaf. You don't need to do every edge. Just now and again, where you've got a wee bit of white, just come in and do a wee yellow bit. Now, a wee thing on paintbrushes, you should always pull up it. Well, this is the way I do it. Other people will tell you different maybe. You should always pull a brush, right? And although you'll see people doing that, when I'm going up, there's no pressure on my brush. Let me get some ink. Okay, so I'm actually doing that. I'm not doing that and scrubbing it. If you scrub it like that, you're going to have pulling pieces on your paper, okay? So I'm just using downward strokes for it. Right, I'm going to wet this, and I'm going to dampen the end of my pink, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to do almost a full wash on this rose, and that pink is a bit darker than I wanted it, so I'm going to come in, wash it off and get some water and come back in. Okay, so you seen I had too much on it. Don't panic, don't worry. Your crafting should be about enjoying what you're doing, not getting all excited about it and it's too much stress and things. Okay, right, there's your rough colour on your rose, and in between I'm squeezing my brush, and that's why my fingers look like that. Right, I'm going to come in and I'm just tipping the edge of my brush in, and I'm just slackening off the ink a wee bit. Okay, and see where all these wee cross hatches are? That's where you come in to make it a bit darker, right? So you're just coming in, going a bit darker around these crosshatch bits. And it's usually on the leaves that are behind. Right, I could do a full tutorial on the colouring. But now my brush was almost dry there because I'd done that and I'd taken the water off. And all I'm doing is eking it out a wee bit. I'm still leaving the edges lighter, as you can see, but I'm just smoothing it out a wee bit, and then I'll come in with some raw ink and I'll just go in and do the very darkest. Okay, right, you can see there, I'll go into the middle and do some wee bits in the middle. Right, right, and then I'm pulling it off, and I'm just a wee tiny bit of water because I've got absolutely nothing on my brush, and I'm going to slacken it off a wee bit. Right, and there's your shaded rose. Now you carry on and you go on and you do the whole thing. I know these videos you're only allowed, I mean look at all that ink, that would depress me. So while I'm on here I'll use this ink and I'll show you how I get around the edges, right? It's not the colours that I would use, but I'll just show you down in this wee corner. This is a big brush, and this is the brush I use for doing my shading round the outside of things. This is a number 8 and it's the Royal Langnickel. There's a number on it, R9259, but down here it's a number 8, okay? Right, wet your brush. Now you could have a bit of kitchen roll, which I've got, but I don't use it because I just use my fingers. I like to feel the brush. Right, a bit of water, and I'll mix up these here because I don't want to waste them. Can you see it there? Yep. Right, just checking. and then come in and go round. I also have this other wee one, right, and I'll come in here and give it all that, so that I'm not contaminating the colour that I've already got on. Okay, there's a bit there done on there. Then come in with your big brush. These big brushes, they're good because you can use the very tip as well, and then spread that out. Take some of the colour off into some of your clean water and fade it out. Okay. I'll come in and get a wee bit more concentrated ink and round there. Wee tiny brush and round there. It's no about getting it all done in one fell swoop, right? It's just about adding wee bits at a time. Okay, right, there I've made a mess of that side. But this is just a wee demo bit. And as you can hopefully see in that one, you've got your darker colour in at the edge. If it's no dark enough for you, just go in and add some more. Don't panic. Okay, but you can see I've got dark edges there and it's coming out into the lighter. Now, I'm not a great colourist because I tend not to do it. I really can't be annoyed with it. It takes too long for me. And then I'll wash that out a wee bit more. There. Okay. Right. That's using your distress inks. I'm going to wipe this away because I've got another one here that I done with the distress inks earlier on. And you see that annoys me, all that colour getting wasted. And I've got a bit of that to finish, so I'll show you. Right, there you are. That's the exact same stamp, stamped the exact same way. And I've just used different colours to do it. See, when it comes to these wee bits up here, like wee flowers like this, it's like lavender. I done the same. Where is that one that I done? Put a wee bit out, and I mean a wee bit. You can see that. A bit of water, wash out a bit of it, and come in and do like a base coat, right? And I'm jiggling my brush just in and out of all these wee bits. Right, and you can see I haven't really went outside the lines there, and I never taken any great care. I'm just jiggling the brush where I see a wee bit, where it comes out and in, out and in. Right, I'll do these two flowers. Then you want to get a bit of your concentrate colour that you haven't really diluted. You can slacken it a wee tiny bit if you want. In fact, I probably will, just with the very tip. And you seen that? There was about 2 bristles went in the water there. And then you just want to dab, 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 dab. Again, just a wee tiny bit into some ink. And dab, 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 dab. Right, you don't want a solid colour. I don't want a solid colour. Maybe that's what you like, but I don't do a solid colour. And I'm just showing you the way I do it. Okay, try and concentrate more down the middles of the plants. And see that? It looks like spots. And I'll show you it in this one. See that? It's just different way of colouring. So there's that one. And I just done that a wee while ago. In fact, I think it's still wet, so I need to watch my grubby fingers because I'm going to mount this one onto a card. Right, as you can see there, I've done the blue, I've done the dark blue. I'll have a wee bit of blue there like that. I'll use my big brush and my wee brush. And there's my water there. Right, wet my brushes. And yes, I do tend to use 2. I don't know why. I've always just done it. Right, I'll come in with some of the concentrate in here. Other people do this. Right, I should have showed you this. Other people wet their card first. And to me it doesn't matter. I think it's easy either way. Some people give their card a coat of water into all the bits that you're going to be doing, because then your ink can move a wee bit better. I'm going to come in here with some of the concentrate. And it's not about getting it all in one hit, as I said. Put a wee bit of water on that. And the more you do these things, just the more you get used to it. It's like everything, a bit of practice. Now, I'm kind of scriggling the brush here because that's the effect that I want. But when I'm painting, I don't. In and out, just a wee bit at a time. Don't panic. I see I don't like the lines there. Scrubbing your brushes like that are no good for them. It messes up the bristles. So it does. And like the presenters on the telly, you normally go quiet when you're doing that. Right, it's eyes. Let me get this bit of blue away. And I used black for the eyes. Here's my black. That's it there. Black suit. A wee bit. Oops. Try to put it back in when there's no lid. Right, water. Get it right out, right slack. And in round your edges. And I'm using just a big brush here. Turn your card so as you can see what you're doing. Because these brushes are good brushes and they're pointy, you do tend to get a good bit of control in them anyway. Some of the other brushes you don't get a lot of control in. The ends all splay on them. So there we go, just round and round. Right, and then you want to come in a decreasing circle. I'm going to take a wee bit more of the concentrate, go round the outside again, get it a wee bit darker. Adding a wee bit at a time, a wee layer at a time. And you'll get it where it's like that one. It's obviously it's got to dry a wee bit, and I would blend that a wee bit more. See? Bit of water and blend it in like that. There you go. Right, to get this away. Now I'm going to show you some of the ones that I've done. Different things that I've done. So I've done that one, and that was using Distress inks. Okay. That was the first one that I done. This one here, I'm going to show you this one here, but I don't know